on Bikurim Perek Aleph Mishnah Dalid. We're going to learn a Mishnah that's extremely relevant in today's day and age. Because of the issue, I don't know when you're watching this, if you're watching this 10 years from now, maybe it's not relevant, but it's extremely relevant today, the issue of Gerim, okay, converts, and what's the level of connection of a convert to the Jewish people in general. So we like to think that the Ger is considered, he's Arei Yisrael L'chol Davar. He's a Jew for every purpose, but there are elements, there are areas of halacha where that's not true, where the Ger has a different status, not lesser or lower, but different. Okay, so the Mishnah is going to tell us one of them, and then we're going to see that it's not entirely clear. Says the Mishnah, Ein elu mivi'in velo korin. If you remember, in the beginning of our Mishnah, in the beginning of the Mishnah, we learned that some people brought Bikurim, and Korin do Mikrah Bikkurim, and some don't bring and don't do Mikrah, and some don't bring Bikurim at all. So we learned a couple of those categories, and our Mishnah is going to tell you the category of who brings Bikurim but velo korim. Says the Mishnah, Hager mevi ve'eno koreh. A ger brings Bikurim, but he does not do Mikrah Bikkurim. So velo korim, the Mishnah says, is a ger, a convert. That's what the Mishnah says. Why? She'eno yachol lomar asher nishba Hashem la'avotenu latet lanu. Let's go back to the psukim of Bikurim. Okay? We say, here we go. We say, Vuvate la Kohen, you come to the Kohen, Asher Yeh B'yamim, V'amarta la, we say to the Kohen, Igadati la'yom la'Hashem Elokecha, I say to Hashem, Kibati la'aretz, I came to the land, Asher nishba Hashem la'avotenu latet lanu. That God has promised to give la'avotenu, to our forefathers to give to us. So the Ger can't say la'avotenu because he converted, so it's not his avot. It was not promised to his forefathers, so therefore he can't say it, and therefore he's mevi, but he is not koreh. Why is he mevi? The Kahatzi says, why? Because it says, V'samachta b'chol hatov, you should be so happy, Asher natan, atav alevi ve'ager asher b'kirbecha. The Ger is explicitly mentioned in the bringing of the Bikurim, but he's not mentioned in the Mikrah Bikkurim. He can't say the Mikrah Bikkurim. He can't say, Asher nishba la Hashem avotenu, Hashem our father. V'im hayta imo Yisrael, if his mother is from Yisrael, mevi v'koreh, then he does bring and is koreh. What's fascinating to me is, if his mother's from Israel, okay, but it means, and his father is not from Israel, not he's a ger, but it means his mother is Jewish and his father is not Jewish. So, from the view of yichus, he doesn't have yichus to a specific tribe. That's a problem that we see in the Torah. It's a problem that we have. But from the view of Judaism, he's considered a Jew. So even though it's not from his father, yichus, if he doesn't have yichus, nonetheless, he can say, la avotenu la tet lanu. Some other opinions about what this is talking about. Okay. Ukeshaya mitpalel. What about, okay, that's gay words, but what about when he says Shemon Esrei? Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu, ve'Elokei avotenu. How did the ger say that? Says the Mishnah, Ukeshu mitpalel beino levein atzmo. When he davens alone, Omer, Elohei avot Yisrael. Elokei avot Yisrael. Elokeinu, you don't say Elokeinu, Elokei avotenu. Elokei avot Yisrael. Ukeshu b'Knesset, when he's davening in shul, i.e. is the Chazan, Omer, Elokei avotechem. Well, can you imagine nowadays if a ger were to get up and say, Baruch atah Elokeinu, Elokei avotechem? He is, according to the Mishnah, separating himself because he can't say Elokei avotenu. It's not him. But if his mother is Jewish and his father is not, Omer Elokei avotenu. Then he does say Elokeinu, Elokei avotenu, our fathers, because he goes back from the mother. He is considered Jewish. Now you're wondering, well, I've never heard this. I know many Gerim, and I know they davened in shul, and I've never heard anybody say Elokeinu, Elokei avotechem. That would kind of stick out. You would remember it. And the reason is because of the Rambam. Bartanura quotes the Mishnah, and then he says the following. Rambam katav she'en halacha k'Mishnah zo. We don't paskin like this Mishnah. Ela hager mevi koreh. The ger does bring bikurim. Umatzila meimar, and he can say la avotenu la tet lanu. We can say that Hashem natan la avotenu. Why? B'nei she'aretz natan la Avraham. Who got Eretz Yisrael? Avraham Avinu. V'hu av la gerim kamo Yisrael. He's the father of all gerim, as it says, ki av hamon goyim et aticha. You are the father of many nations. And we learn, with Darshini, the Gemara Bracha learns, before you were a forefather to Aram, you're a forefather of all the land, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Abraham Eretz Yisrael. Therefore, the Rambam says, the ger is mevi v'koreh. So, according to the Mishnah, but that's not the fi halacha. We don't pask in this way. According to the halacha, ger is mevi v'koreh. Similar, kshu mitpalel, beino levein atzmo, bein bebei knesset, whether he davens alone or in shul, Omer Elokeinu v'Elokei avotenu. He says, even if Eini Mo Yisrael, he's a ger, even from his mother. If his mother is not Jewish, nonetheless, he was Megayer, his forefathers, Avraham Avinu. That's how we paskin. We'll stop here and dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. If you have any comments or questions, email me at arspoter@gmail.com. Have a good day.